Okay, so welcome back to the next tutorial here. Now I want to discuss the settings dialog in SolutionTree. So if you see right up here, you have settings under the tree group, and I'm going to go ahead and select that. Well, let me show you what I'm going to do first. So basically, when you have a default decision tree, you can see that the root node is going to try to be somewhere in the middle of all those branches. So right now we have a pretty small tree. It's easy to see everything, but what can happen is when a tree gets really large, and I'm going to go ahead and show you a cool feature of SolutionTree, which allows you to copy the entire tree down branch, so to speak. So I'm going to grab the tree node here, the root node, copy, and I'm just going to paste it to each of my stock nodes here. Again, this doesn't really make sense, but oftentimes tree structures will be repetitive, and being able to copy and paste downhill like this or down branch is a useful feature. So I'm just going to go ahead and paste it, and I'll paste one to here as well. I'll tell you what, I'll even go further downhill. I'll paste to this child node. Notice all the values, everything gets pasted as it should. Now we have a pretty complex tree, and as you can see, the root node is way down here in row 48. So you have to kind of scroll down there to see it. So one of my favorite settings under the tree group here is to choose this first checkbox, fix root node in place. I'm going to hit OK. And there we go. So now that root node will always be in the top left-hand corner, and you can easily see the expected market value of the whole tree. So that is my favorite way to use. If you have any kind of large tree, that's a good option to have. Another option I mentioned, or feature that I mentioned earlier, is that all of the probabilities for any given child node should equal 100%. Well, obviously by copying like that, now I have 100% plus 100%, so that's doubling what it should be. Now, obviously, if I can go in there and kind of manually fix it, but what if I had 7 or 8 nodes? I don't want to have to do all the math. One of the nice features of SolutionTree is that we can have it automatically check that for us. So using highlight probability errors and ties, basically I have these two settings turned on almost all the time. We'll hit OK. And now you can see that it shows me where that total is not 100%. If this was over 100%, you can see how it's making me fix that. So let's change this. We'll leave that at 10, and we'll change that to 15, and now everything should be fine. So obviously by copying and pasting the way I did, I'm duplicating those values, and that's why we have those highlights. I'll leave that one there just to show you that it stays active. So those are two settings I always use for the most part. Don't forget, we can always collapse branches if we want more room on our screen and we want to highlight or isolate a certain node to discuss it. So again, we can easily collapse. You can even collapse all the way down to the root node if you want to. And of course, we can expand the whole tree back very easily. So again, that's two settings I recommend that you use if you have large or complex trees. Finally, we'll discuss this later in a future video. You do have the ability to use the minimize function. Say if instead of trying to maximize profit or expected market value or monetary value, you might want to minimize cost or minimize risk or expenses. So you'll use that, and we'll discuss that in some future examples. But for the most part, you're going to leave that for the maximize. Okay, that is the tree settings. We'll discuss the other nodes here, or the other tabs here in future tutorials, but those are probably the most common that I use and probably recommend for everybody. Okay, I'll see you in the next video.